Welcome to Game 2 of Round 2 of Swiss, once more brought to you by Netrunners.co.uk from our Worcester Manalik July tournament held on the 12th of July 2014. Myself on the left, playing Chaos Theory, and Jimmy from Worcester on the right, playing Jinteki Personal Evolution. There's been quite a rise, a meteoric rise you may say, of Jinteki in our current meta recently. A lot of players are playing good old Jinteki, and I think that it's almost represented as sort of half the, not quite half, but perhaps a good third of the corporation decks of the day. Myself and Dave Hoyland both packing Replicating Perfection decks, and I think there were at least 2 or 3 PE decks as well. I don't think we saw any 10 Malign or Medtech, but you know, it's certainly been a big deal, and this is one of the reasons why I changed my Shaper deck, my Chaos Theory deck, to include a Fairy over Sharpshooter. It's been one of those things that people have questioned, but being able to put a Fairy down turn 1 is hugely important, early doors anyway, even with whether that be with an SMC or in itself. It can be very strong against face checking things like Kumainu. I've just drawn up there into a Deus Ex, which is obviously even better in some respects against Jinteki Ice. Problem is it is quite pricey. It's quite expensive to bring back with recursion. I'm going to play Magnum Opus, click 2, and I think I'm going to take 4. He's left R&D open, and as I've already mentioned, this deck, what I have termed and designated the Latchkey Kid deck, is designed to punish open servers, whether they be HQ, R&D, or remote servers. Looks like he's got a... Is that a Scorched Earth in hand there? I'm not quite sure. It looks like he may have a Scorched Earth. There we go. Turn 1, click 1. Sorry, turn 2. Keyhole. And we'll be using Keyhole, thank you very much. And it's always nice to draw it up in hand, but if I don't draw it up in hand, obviously got SMC options. I will trash a Brain Trust and make him shuffle. For those of you who have watched the draft videos from the previous month of June, will also know that against Jimmy, I had that rather unfortunate turn 1 win where I played Keyhole, keyholed for a priority wreck, keyholed again for another priority wreck, and then ran it and scored. And so here we are again, a different month, different decks, but somewhat the same situation. I think I've just drawn up there into a Philotic Entanglement and a Future Perfect, and I'm debating here whether to trash the Future Perfect or to trash the Philotic. I'm going to put the Future Perfect in. I think I probably should have put the Philotic in instead. But either way, who cares? That's still 5 points worth of agendas in archives at the moment. And I'm in no huge rush to go in and score them. But I will certainly use click 4 to once more do another keyhole. I think he's just checking to see if he's got 3 yet. And let's see if I get lucky for turn number 3. And I don't think there's anything too juicy in there, otherwise it would have been pretty instantaneous. And I will trash a hedge fund, make him shuffle, and pass the turn. So now at this stage, and this is the great thing about Keyhole, and why I've picked it over any other R&D pressure, is that you have to decide whether you're going to try and solidify R&D, or whether you're going to try and solidify archives. He's just drawn up into a Shock, Subliminal, and a Bastion, and I think he's got 1 click left, and he's going to he should definitely install the Bastion here, but he's going to draw again. I think that's probably a mistake there. He's certainly going to put the Shock there in archives, I have no doubt. But bearing in mind that when I do run archives, I get to choose what order I access the cards in. So even though he's Personal Evolution, I am not too concerned. I suggest he's probably looking here for a Jackson Howard as well, and if I see one, I'm probably going to trash it unless there's a tasty agenda. I'll get rid of the Fetal AI, taking the total count up to 7, but with a Future Perfect in archives, there's no guarantee that I'll hit 7, and I could just hit 4. And obviously with the Fetal as well, that's dangerous. So not really what I want to do. But I will definitely trash that House of Knives, taking up to 8 points in archives. And I'm going to see if I can do it without having to score that Future Perfect. I don't think I'm running here on archives. I think I'm just adding up the totals, and I'm not looking at the face down cards. I just need to decide here what order I'm going to run and hit them in. But I'm going to keyhole again, I believe, here, 3rd click. And he's also having a look to see what the damage is. And this is the sheer brutality of Keyhole. Not ideal like in terms of R&D lock. It obviously doesn't establish an R&D lock in any way, shape or form. I'll take that Jackson out, thank you very much. But this is what it does. It just demolishes a deck. And it takes out all the agendas. It takes out all the means of recovering from scoring set agendas. And I will take 3 off the top. And I will trash another fetal AI, make him shuffle, and that's now 7 consecutive keyholes. That's 21 cards accessed, and there's already 10 points, I think, of agendas in there now, in archives, if not a little bit more. I honestly can't recall. But even if he had a Jackson Howard on the board now, he's going to have a hard time. And he draws up into another shock, another piece of ice, there's an Inazuma, and there's the Jackson Howard, which he will install. I think probably a touch with a touch too much enthusiasm there, so I would suggest. So I know he's got a Jackson out on the board now. He's shown me, which is a little bit unfortunate on his part, but whatever, that's fine. I've got a Jackson. I'll just mill some more, thank you very much, and I will take out any and all cards I possibly can. He's got a Shiku there, a Kamainu. Probably going to take out the Kamainu, am I? I'm not sure what the middle card is. Yeah, oh no, okay, I'm taking out the Sea Source. So again, here I'm assuming he's got a means of tag punishment, and he's got money, so I want to be careful, because I have no money currently. I am running on absolutely 0 credits here, because I don't need to. Until he ices up R&D, I'm in no position to need it, and he really, really should have iced up R&D here, as soon as he possibly could have. And I will trash another Brain Trust. That's 2 Brain Trusts there, taking the agenda points up to something stupid now. And although he may have a Jackson Howard on the board, it may not make that much of a difference. And until he ices up R&D, there's no reason really to stop. He's going to medtech a medical fundraiser, which again he doesn't need to do. It's just giving me money to go in and steal the fetals, if nothing else. And he's going to take some more money, I believe. Completely making the wrong call there. He's dropped to a House of Knives and something else, which I think he's put in archives because it doesn't matter at this stage. But again, he's in a horrible position here, and if he'd iced up R&D sooner, he would have forced me to go in and play the game. But as it stands, I'll just take out another. I'll take a Thlotic Entanglement, that is, I think, and another 2 points of agendas. And surely now at this stage, I should be thinking about just going in and taking the damn things. But, you know, better safe than sorry, I guess. I'll trash an archive memory so he can't bring an agenda back into hand. Or a Jackson Howard. Obviously that would be the stronger play. Archive memories a Jackson. And install it. And just get rid of another Jackson Howard is exactly what I want to do. I'm going to keyhole again, because I can. There can't be that many agendas left in the deck. And I'll take out a whatchamacallit Cerebral Cast, so he can't give me a tag or a brain damage. That's probably my best option. And I'm going to have a look at archives at the face-up cards again, and look to see what I want to score. I know he's going to put 3 back in with the Jackson Howard, and they're probably almost certainly going to be his 3 2s, so the Thlotic and 2 Brain Trusts are almost certainly going to go back in the deck, leaving the I think the 3 fetal AIs, which obviously I cannot afford to go in and steal initially. Although they only do 1 net damage, they still cost me 2 to go in and steal, so it'd be 4 to take those, plus anything I may need for the side game on the Future Perfect. So there's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 points of agendas there in archives, plus any face down cards. So realistically there's only another 2, 3 points in R&D. All the agendas are there. He's going to put 3 of them back in with Jackson Howard, that's fine. All I need now is money and cards, and I can go in and take what I need. Obviously he's going to do a point of net damage for everyone I steal, so I need to make sure I can steal enough to win the game and not flatline myself horribly. Fetal Eye doesn't trigger in archive, so it will only do 1 net damage to me rather than the usual 3 in PE, but it will still cost me the money. So he's going to Jackson, which is a mistake. He shouldn't have done that. I last clicked there, I used Magnum Opus, I didn't run on archives, so he should have waited and decreased the agenda density. He will put back in what I can only presume will be 3 cards, or agendas surely, but maybe not. I think he might be looking to put in the Sea Source, to be truthful, as the only means in which he could probably win the game now. You certainly can't win it through agendas with Jackson Howard's out of the game, so he's going to put in the Sea Source and a Brain Trust and Thlotic Entanglement, which makes sense. Though again, I think, I don't know. He's just kind of reliant now on me keeping on missing the the Future Perfect. I don't think I need it though. I think with the fetals I can go in and take what I need. I'm pretty sure here he's stuffed. He's going to install a Komainu there, I think, over archives and try and slow me down. Looks like he's got an Inazuma, which he's going to put in front of the Komainu, and that's fine. Just fine. I may keyhole a couple more times just to get some few more agendas back in there. Again, I'm in no rush, really, to be honest with you. I will draw first click, or hedge fund, and I think probably I need to make sure I've got 5 cards in hand at the start of a turn, so I'll draw, so I can just maybe go draw, run, something like that. Obviously with the Inazuma, that's going to make things more difficult. I've got a clone chip there on the board, and I can take my time here, to be brutally honest. There's no rush. He sees another Jackson Howard, which is horrible. If he doesn't install it, he'd be daft. He's going to draw. He sees the fetal, and he's going to hedge fund, which is again another error there. I don't know why you wouldn't play the Jackson Howard immediately. If it is it's definitely a Jackson, and that's puzzling. I guess he's feeling a bit more confident that I can't get in there at the moment. Obviously, Komainu will completely kill my hand. There's no way I'm going to access. I know that he's got enough to kill me. Only one agenda will do it. So at the moment, it's a relatively safe server, and so he's not too worried about installing the Jackson immediately. Though I think it's still probably the right thing to do. But I will install a Deus Ex, which can get through all that nasty AP ice. I'm not worried about preventing net damage particularly, but it will give me another free agenda at the very least. And I will run archives, at which point he will res Inazuma, and I go, oh crap, that's a problem. And then he will spend another 5, res Komainu, I will lose my hand, and now suddenly I'm ruining my foolishness, because all he needs is a neural EMP at this stage. I think this game is gathering a crowd because of how much I've keyholed at this stage. I think they're asking at this point why I didn't break it with Deus Ex, but obviously I couldn't because of the Inazuma. I could not break it with Deus Ex. I could only prevent 1 point of net damage, and that didn't seem to be hugely worthwhile. I haven't seen any neural EMPs in all my keyholing, so I'm not feeling like it's that big of a danger, really. But again, I think he's just kind of in a bit of keyhole does create the mind dungeon, I guess is the best way of putting it. A little bit like a Count Siphon does. It is a mind dungeon card because it's so dominant and so powerful when it's on the board and against an open R&D target like that was. So I'll just draw up and say over to you. I'm in no rush here. He's not going to win out by scoring agendas, I know that much, and all I've got to do here is bide my time and wait. There's enough agendas in there for me to win the game. I've got the Deus Ex on the board, so he can't cause too many surprises against me. I probably feel a bit more comfortable with the Plascrete, because again I'm figuring with all those cerebral casts or whatever, he must have a Scorched Earth in the deck, though I haven't seen it. It looks like he discarded a House of Knives there into archives. And again, he really wants me to try and hit that Future Perfect. I'm surprised to not see that happening, to be honest, but that's fine. And what I need now at this point is a Parasite. I think that's what I'm looking for. I want to Parasite the Komainu so that the Inazuma drops down to completely useless. Ah, and there we go. So I will trash that Deus Ex. I will Parasite the Komainu, so that's going next turn. The Inazuma becomes useless, and he will have to resecure archives if he's going to keep me out. And again, this is the joy of the deck. There's so many good solutions to ice like that. Obviously, I could go in and find something like a Mimic, but you know that completely defuncts 2 pieces of ice. I don't have to go and find a Gordian Blade and a Mimic. I can just Parasite the Komainu. He's going to Celebrity Cast, so we do a Psy game. Sorry, a Cerebral Cast, whatever it's called. You know, the one that lets you do a brain damage or a tag. Obviously, I would probably still take the brain damage because I'm not too worried about 1 brain damage. I would be far more concerned about the tag. We both bid 0, so it's unsuccessful. For some reason I think it is successful, but it's not. I'm so used to being on the other side of the Psy games now that I have conditioned myself to believe that if we have the same amount, I lose, and that's not actually the case. As runner, you win, woohoo! But I'm so used to being on the other side of that Psy game He's going to put another piece of ice there over over archives, and I think he's doing the right thing by trashing both pieces of ice rather than paying 2. There's no point, they're both going to become useless after this next turn anyway. So he's got 1 piece of ice there, fine, whatever. I'm pretty sure I can go in and sort it out, whatever really, it's all good. Nothing a test run and a Fem can't fix. I'll run, he will, I see a Quandary, which is definitely the wrong call because I'll clone chip the Parasite and trash it. And I'll have a look at the face-up cards as well. I'm just going to decide what order I'm going to access them in. Again, that's obviously my decision, not his. So the 2 Brain Trusts and the House of Knives are instant decision. There's the Fetal AI. I'm just making sure that I can do it without dying horribly. So I would lose 1, 2, 3, 4, pay 2, and score 7 points for the win. I just wanted to make sure that I was doing it all above board and legally, but that is the power of Keyhole. If you leave R&D open, indexing is the least of your concerns because Keyhole will come in and ruin your day, and it's the reason why this deck works incredibly well. This deck is running around the basis of sort of 3 4-cost programs with 3 times modded, 3 SMCs, 3 test runs, 3 scavenge, 3 clone chips. It wants to go in, fetch the tools it needs to win, and it wants to do it as fast as is humanly possible. And you know, whether it be punishing through a sneak door because archives is free and easy, or whether it be because R&D is lightly defended and I can go in and grab a keyhole, it will punish you. And if you've got a taxing setup and you have got one server particularly secure and you're feeling safe, no problem, I'll use Escher and move all your ice around and make that server not safe. And it's a great deck, I absolutely love it, and it's done very well for me. And that takes me to 8 prestige after 2 rounds of Swiss, and in a happy place. So hopefully you'll join us guys for round 3 of Swiss, which we'll be bringing to you over the next week. Thank you for watching.